Alright, so today for Foundation Friday, we're going to be talking about the brand new JUVIA'S Place I Am Magic Velvety Matte Foundation. So I was debating between putting up the Pure Cosmetics review today or this guy, since I have both filmed. The Pure Cosmetics one is going to be coming next week because I feel like so many people have been asking about this on Twitter. Give the people what they want, you know? So you can actually buy this foundation on the JUVIA'S Place website or on Ulta now, which is awesome. I didn't see it on Ulta when I bought it, so I just bought it on their website, but it retails for $20. You get 1 fluid ounce of product, and it comes in 42 shades. It says it offers a smooth application with a natural and soft matte finish to give flawless coverage. Fine skin texture, erase blemishes, and it's supposed to maintain the same throughout the day. Suitable for all skin types, including sensitive and oily skin. So I have dry skin and sensitive skin. JUVIA'S Place is also cruelty-free. So I picked up the 2 lightest shades. The lightest one is actually 740, and then 730 is the second lightest shade. So I'm going to insert swatches here of both of these shades compared to some other foundations so you can see how they compare and what shade you might be. Alright, so here are a few shade swatches of JUVIA'S Place. So right here is the JUVIA'S Place foundation in the lightest shade, 740 Marisol. 740, as you can see, is actually lighter than 730. So 730 is the shade Isla, which is this one right here and has a little bit more of like a yellow goldy undertone. Right here's Dermacol 208 and CYO Life Proof in 101. Both of these are my closest shade matches. And then just for shade comparison, here's the Fenty Beauty foundation in 110. So if you're excited for this video and you enjoy Foundation Fridays, you can give it a thumbs up. I appreciate it. If you're new here, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Foundation Friday is every single Friday. I have a playlist down below with hundreds of foundation reviews. I used to have acne with oily skin. Now I have dry skin after Accutane, so I have reviews for all kinds of skin types. Okay, so right now it is 9:30 in the morning when we're starting this. I'm just going to face swatch both of the shades since I haven't done swatches yet. Okay, so let's first do the lightest shade, 730 Isla. Okay, so that's 730. And then here's, is this 740? This looks lighter. 740 is definitely lighter than 730. So I'm going to go in with 740. That looks closer. It does look like it has pretty yellow undertone. So this is supposed to be full coverage. I'm going to start out with my Sigma F80 on this side of my face. Okay, a little bit goes a super long way. Oh my god. I'm gonna kind of spread this a little bit on the other side because literally this spreads super far. Okay, so I'm gonna try this with a sponge on the other side. With a brush, it looks like full coverage, but it's actually not as like opaque full coverage as I was picturing. I can still see freckles coming through. It's not like Dermacol kind of coverage, but let's see how it does with a sponge. Whoa. Okay, so even with a sponge, it's spreading very far. Usually I get much lighter coverage with a sponge than I do with a brush, but with this one, I think I'm getting about the same. So that's nice. So because of that, I think I like the finish a little bit better on the sponge side, so I probably would just go in with the sponge with this one. I'm just smoothing over this side. I don't have any more product on right now. I just want to kind of smooth out that finish. I still don't think I'm getting like opaque full coverage, so I have a ton left over on here still, so I'm just going to take a tiny bit since this goes a long way and just try and build it up on some of my scarring and where I want opaque full coverage, hopefully. Yeah, I wouldn't say this has as much coverage as like the Huda Beauty, Faux Filter, or Dermacol, any of the opaque full coverage foundations. When I had acne, I did a whole video on extreme coverage foundations that will cover acne, that cover like everything. And this one I wouldn't say is that. This just looks like kind of an average full coverage foundation to me. It's not extreme coverage or anything. I like the finish though. It looks like a satin finish. It's not overly dewy. It's not too matte. It's looking a little crazy, I just noticed on my nose area right here. Yeah, it's looking pretty dry on my nose. And it also looks pretty dry right between my eyebrows. Okay, so it almost has like a soft velvety feel to it. It doesn't feel super tacky, but I'm gonna see if this one sets down even more so I don't have to powder right here. It feels like it could go either way. But right now it is 9:42, so we'll probably call the check-in time 9:45. Right now it looks good. I'm kind of indifferent, but we'll see how it goes throughout the day and once the rest of my makeup's on. So I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Okay, so now it's 10 o'clock, but the check-in time again is 9:45. So I did feel like I had to powder right here so I could blend stuff on top. I also had a little bit of bronzer fiasco, but we will get to that. So if you see like a gray thing right there, that is why. I feel like it's looking really good on camera. Like on camera, I really like how it looks. In real life, it looks a little bit more textured, but you guys will see that and we'll get a better look of that in natural lighting in a second. But on the rest of my face, I attempted to use the MAC Aladdin bronzer, and this was so intense. There was a lot happening all at once on here, so I basically tried to like majorly tone it down, got a little wild, and then I had to go in with my Cosmetics bronzer to fix it. For blush, I used the CoverGirl True Blend Medium Rose Blush. This is one of my favorites from the drugstore. It's so pretty and I haven't used it in a while. I have a bronzer blush highlight declutter video coming, and in that video I kind of like rediscovered this. And then for highlighter, I used one of my old favorites, the JCat Luxe Pearl Pro Luminizer. This is so pretty. You can either like build this up or you can get really subtle highlight, or you can like mix it in with your face powder and it just gives you such a pretty glow. So I just used that for my face highlight. And then for eyes, had to use the JUVIA'S Place palette. This is one of my favorites. It's the Saharan. I've talked about this a lot and I've used this in a few different videos, but I just went in with the silver shade and that shade. And then I used Disco Daydream by Urban Decay. This is their glitter liner, and I just ran that kind of like right along my lash line a little bit, and then also on my inner corner. And then for lips, I never really overline my lips, but I did today and I'm kind of feeling it. But this is the new Huda Beauty lipstick. It's in the shade Anniversary. The formula of these are so nice. They're matte, but they stay on and they're just really comfortable. And then I put on this over top, ColourPop So Juicy in the shade Roundabout, which is super nice and minty. You can like kind of feel it on your lips. So that is all the makeup. Let's go do a shot in natural lighting and we'll do a flash test. All right, so we're in natural lighting and I feel like the shade looks totally different out here. I do think it might be a little bit off now, maybe like half a shade too light. I just feel a little bit ghostly. My forehead might just be super dry right now from being on so many plane flights. Wow. Being on so many flights lately. My skin might just be like extra dry. It's not looking great on my forehead, and it's also not looking great around some of the dryness. So if you have super dry skin, it's not looking like fantastic, but let me zoom in. I do feel like I can kind of see this one sitting on top of my skin a little bit, and then right here it's definitely looking pretty dry and textured on my forehead, and then a bit on the nose area as well. It's not horrible around my nose, but I do notice it a little bit. It does look like I'm wearing makeup. Like I wouldn't say this one is really like flattering and natural and kind of soft looking. I can just like see it on my skin. But let's do a flash test. Alright, so I look a little bit ghostly, but again, it could just be the shade. It doesn't look like there's too horrible of a flashback. I think the shade is just probably a tiny bit light. But today, it is Sunday. I'm just having a work day because I leave on another trip in a few days. So I'm just going to be chilling here editing. I'm going to attempt to work out today. Not sure if it'll be during the foundation review or not, but we will see how it holds up. So I'll see you guys in a few hours back in natural lighting. Okay, so I was just Snapchatting in here and I noticed that it looked totally different in this lighting, which is also in front of the window. So I just wanted to bring the camera so you guys could see in here, but it definitely looks more matte in this lighting, and I'm gonna zoom in. It does not look great. Okay, so in here I think it's picking up on the dryness a lot better on camera, and you can really see what I'm talking about. Not looking too flattering. Okay, it's 1:40, so it's only been on for 4 hours, and oh my god, you guys, does it look awful. I am just gonna hope that it's picking up how it looks in real life, but it's basically completely like separating and also just looks so cakey and like dry. I haven't been like touching around my nose or anything, and it's basically like worn off and getting kind of like bunched up in certain areas. Gross. And then my forehead is looking like super textured, but also almost a little bit greasy. It doesn't feel greasy at all. Like there's no actual oil. It just almost looks like weirdly glittery or something. Oh yeah, this is just not wearing well at all. We're only 4 hours in, so we got a long ways to go. So I'm curious to see how this looks by the end of the night, but I will see you guys at the end of the night. All right, it's now 7:40, so it's been on for 10 hours. And let's take a look. I've been cleaning this room, which was quite a disaster. Oh, that was a weird turn of events. I am very oily looking, actually, but I also still have major separation and it looks pretty awful. So I'm gonna zoom in. So it looks pretty horrible on the whole bottom half of my face. Also now major oiliness, which is very odd for having dry skin. My skin doesn't get oily. It hasn't really changed to any more oily. I definitely still have dry skin. So whenever a foundation does this, it's definitely the foundation. Like, oil's not even coming off. The foundation is just coming off. So it just looks like greasy. To the touch, it doesn't feel oily. Ooh, looking rough. So I think we get the message with this one. This one is a major no. I would not put this on my face again. Not a fan. It might wear totally different on your skin. Didn't initially love it, and then it just like nose dove throughout the day. Took a nosedive. That sounds better. Unfortunately, this one didn't work out, but stay tuned for next week's Foundation Friday. It'll be on the Pure Foundation, so if you're excited for that and you enjoyed this video, you can give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. I have a whole Foundation Friday playlist down below in the description box. But I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.